Hi, I'm Bernd from Themesen, and in this video we'll take a look at some key factors to look at while selecting a pneumatic filter for your compressed air system. If your compressed air system shows reduced system performance, increased wear and tear, corrosion, or damage to cylinder and valve systems, it might be a signal that your pneumatic system needs a filter. So what does a pneumatic filter do? A pneumatic filter removes solid particles, water droplets, oil, and other contaminants from the compressed air. These impurities can damage pneumatic tools, cause equipment failure, and compromise the quality of the end product. You can install pneumatic filters in airlines upstream of your components to keep them protected. Let's take a look at the main selection criteria to ensure you select the right pneumatic filter. First, the micron rating. Particle removal filter elements are rated by the size of the particles they trap. For example, a 40 micron element is designed to remove particles 40 micron and larger. So how do you determine the micron rating for your filter? The downstream equipment determines the filter's micron rating. Most industrial equipment and tools like air wrenches typically need a 40 micron filtration, while more sensitive components and instruments demand a 5 micron filtration. Food, beverages, and pharmaceutical applications demand an even finer filtration, less than 1 micron size. ISO 8573-1 categorizes compressed air quality levels based on contaminants like solid particles, water vapor, or oil content. Each class is represented by a numeral code with a lower number indicating a higher air quality. The overall air quality level is shown as a series of 3 numbers, 111 or 232, corresponding to the solid particles, water vapor, and oil content classes respectively. For high quality air, especially breathing air, you can add a series of filters in sequence from coarse to fine through a process known as progressive filtration. It is important not to oversize or undersize the filter. A filter with too large of a micron rating will let through too big of particles that can damage your downstream equipment. A filter with a too small of a micron rating will cause a large pressure drop from the inlet to the outlet. Next, the pressure rating. Make sure that the filter you're looking at can handle the input and output pressure of your system. Next is the flow capacity. Most manufacturers supply a flow versus pressure drop curve like this one. The flow curve shows the flow rate from a set input pressure with multiple output pressures. For each output pressure, it can be seen how the pressure changes the increased flow rate. It is recommended to use the device in the middle range of the curve and not at the beginning or the end of the curve. A few additional things to ensure that your pneumatic filter works in your application are the input and output port size and thread type. You can also look at the temperature range of your application and the filter ball material, which is typically from metal for more aggressive particles or plastic. And there's also drain type, which is what happens when the filter gets full of particles. You can drain the particles automatically using a drain valve, semi-automatically, or do it manually. For remote or applications requiring frequent draining, an automatic one is ideal. Semi-automatic drains drain when the pressure gets below a specific threshold. However, for infrequent use, a manual drain type is a cost-effective solution. Drain capacity, so how big a drain tank needs to be, is determined by how frequent the draining will occur. A bigger tank means less draining time, but if it's too big, it is a waste of compressed air. So when do you change your air filter? Consider these 4 questions. Is the manufacturer's service life expired? Has an air audit revealed that the air quality is below acceptable limits? Are pressure drops exceeding acceptable levels? Are pressure drops exceeding the manufacturer's change points? Now let's see how you would select a filter on our website. First, search for pneumatic filters. You can see various categories of pneumatic filters here. Then we select compressed air filters. Now you have several options from various manufacturers. If you have no brand requirements, we can go directly to the filters on the left side based on your application. Suppose you need a connection size of 1/4 of an inch, filter size of 5 micron, maximum pressure difference of 16 bar, and a maximum flow rate of 1000. Now we are left with a few filter options. These filters basically differ in their condensate drain type and cost, so you can choose one according to your need. When you found the pneumatic filter that you're looking for, please read the specifications carefully and double check if they match the parameters of your system. Also, refer to the product manual for more detailed information. And that's it. Now you know how a pneumatic filter works and how to select one. One last thing to consider is if you want to combine the pneumatic filter with a lubricator and pneumatic regulator. This is called an FRL system. We have other articles and videos on this. If you found this a useful video, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos. If you have any more questions about pneumatic filters or another product, please contact me or anyone else at Tameson.